All right, how's it going? I see Silver Belden. How you doing today, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I'm assuming you've seen the Pokemon Presents from today, from this morning. I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about what they announced. All the stuff they showed seemed like good improvements. I'm excited. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on it? Let's hope a Krabby shows up real quick. So, yeah, okay. I just need to run into it, make sure, double check my chain's still good. You know, who knows what could cause it to break? Yeah, all right, we're good. We're good. So we're able to sit back. I still don't have all that many lures. I was able to pick up a few items, but it was mostly berries. I didn't find anything like great for selling last night while just kind of looking at stuff, and I don't really want to do anything that would break the chain to, like, you know, earn money through battles and stuff like that. So we're gonna work with what we got for now. But yeah, how's it going today? Hope you've been having a good Wednesday. I had to double check on my phone what day of the week it was, because it's been very hectic. It's been very hectic for me. I had some work stuff happen, and then, you know, that just made the morning feel like an entire day. But no, I'm excited. I'm excited. The BDSP and Legend stuff both seemed exciting. Like them giving forgettable Pokemon interesting forms. They've done a really good job with the forms. I think like Mega Evolutions are obviously something people want back and want more of, but I think people really want more of them because they feel like they weren't necessarily put on the right Pokemon. But to me, it feels like, especially with Galar, they really started nailing the idea of the regional forms and regional evolutions, and they've really hit like a good mark of Pokemon that people, you know, care about, and not like Pokemon that people think are just horrific and, you know, want to forget, but like the forgettable Pokemon, or just the kind of middling Pokemon that people will be like, oh yeah, that's cool that I got another thing. I think they've really nailed that, and they've still done a pretty good job with that from the looks of it, with the Hisuian forms. I think is the new region. Hisui is technically what we're calling Old Sinnoh. Yeah, like those looked really cool. Those looked really cool. I really like Basculin getting a new form and stuff like that. That's great. And for me, just overall, everything that they talked about was fantastic. Like, they pretty much hit every point that I wanted to hear about. They showed, you know, new gameplay footage that clearly showed an improvement, at least in lighting. The animations in Legends actually looked, I wouldn't say like super smooth, but they were way better. Yeah, everything looked like an improvement from what we saw in February, which is great, because having not seen anything, I was very concerned that what we saw in February is what the final product was going to look like. So for both BDSP adding like following Pokemon, a lot of the stuff they did around contests and just customization's fantastic. It's good. It's good. You know, the games aren't perfect. I don't think anyone expected them to be perfect after what we saw in February, but it's really good to see how much they improved in the past several months, especially given that they're coming out soon. And we heard more about the story for Legends, kind of the whole concept of what we'll actually be doing. That's great. It seems like we're actually going to have a bit more fleshed out of an area than I think at least I know I was very concerned about. Yeah, I was very concerned that it was going to be, here's your one town, you know, basically here's Jubilife, or what becomes Jubilife, and then there's nothing. The quality update definitely hit the people comparing it to Sword and Shield. Yeah, I mean, it ended up looking pretty good. Like, again, I don't think, like, we kind of spent a lot of yesterday talking about this, but I think there's a little bit of stuff that, like, Game Freak just isn't quite as good at doing certain things, and not being fully a first party, they really won't be. But, like, the games are good, and visually, I would definitely say that Legends is a step up from Sword and Shield, which is great to see. Hey, Cinder, how's it going? Welcome. How are you doing today? Cinder, did you see all the Pokemon stuff from today? I'm assuming you did. I'm excited. Are you excited? No, I'm very, very excited for BDSP now. Legends looks fantastic. Legends really does look good. Like, it all looks good. It really does all look good. I think, like, obviously, like, the chibis for BDSP still rub some people the wrong way, but, like, compared to what we saw, you know, in February, everything was a step up, and it all looks good. I'm excited to play BDSP. I'm excited to play Legends. I was pretty concerned I wasn't going to care about Legends. Like, you know, to an extent, like, oh no, if I don't like it, that's whatever. But, like, I was genuinely kind of in a situation where I was like, I don't know if I'm going to, like, want to play Legends, and from my point of view as a streamer, I was a little bit concerned about that, of like, everyone's going to want to see that. I don't know if I'm going to want to play it, but it looks so good. I'm definitely going to be playing that. I think it seems like completing the decks is a bit more in depth than just catch everything, which will be interesting. Like actually kind of filling out all the entries on it. Seeing like what shiny hunting is kind of like in that, seeing what kind of stuff. It almost feels like it'd be a game that like has just inherent value in like weird like challenge runs, something like Breath of the Wild. I think there's just gonna be constant comparison to Breath of the Wild. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there was definitely a Breath of the Wild inspired sound in one of the menus, which is kind of funny. Don't even mind the chibi art style. You're so excited for the new and improved Sinnoh Underground and the remakes. Oh, yeah, it looks so good. All the hideaways is absolutely gonna be a shiny hunting method. Like a shiny hunting method along the lines of ultra wormholes. I think it's probably gonna be some very fast chain kind of thing, or if there's a way to like chain the hideaway things where you keep like going further and further, it's gonna be like that, or it's gonna be like Friend Safari. I think that's what the hideaways are gonna be. There's definitely a shiny hunting aspect to that. Juan, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so many shiny hunting potential for the Pokemon. Yeah, exactly. I should have just read the last part of your comment, yeah. Gonna be sad if you can't do full odds and hideaways. Yeah, I wonder how it'll be handled, because either it could be a chaining thing, or it could be something like Friend Safari, where it's just a like flat 1 in 512. The shiny Glameow that you bred via Masuda method way back when you still did method hunts, can finally use it for contest. Heck yeah! Originally bred her for contest start. To be a contest star for contests. Hey, well now you can use her. Yeah, the contests do look cool. I like how it seems like they kind of revamped them. Quag was in the BDSP trailer, so can't complain. There you go. There you go. Chaining would be cool, and it would kind of I kind of preferred it because it gives people an option to do full odds. Yeah, yeah. I want there to be more interaction. As a method hunter, I want there to be more interaction when it comes to doing that kind of thing. I want something that's similar to SOS. Because, you know, SOS, I am biased, but SOS is like the peak that we've had in terms of like method shiny hunting in modern games. So either they need to bring back really pure Poké Radar hunting. And even then, I feel like there's gonna be like Poké Radar hunting, but then like there'd be way more to it if we could have other methods that were closer to SOS in terms of the way they function. Just like, I don't know. Again, I'm biased. I'm biased towards SOS for sure, but I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. Princess Halio will star in the cuteness contest. There you go. She was meant to be a star. No, I'm very excited. The games look like they have a extreme amount of potential now. Yo, Rafa, what's going on? The Underground looks amazing. It does, right? No, I'm super excited for BDSP now. I think my goal is going to be like play BDSP constantly from the moment it comes out until Legends comes out and see how much I can get done in that time. In terms of like decks, in terms of shinies, in terms of all this stuff. So I don't know exactly how it's going to go down, but I think the goal is going to be to speedrun whatever level of dex is required for a shiny charm as fast as possible. Stream as much as I can. I'm very excited to do that. Yeah, no, I'm so excited about this, and it's the most excited I have been about a game coming out in a long time now. I actually agree that SOS is the best method. It's just, something about it is like something about it, and it's hard to like nail it. It's got good pacing. It's got good levels of interaction from the hunter. You know, it just there's obviously the luck to how fast you get it, but it's entirely skill based up until the point that it shows up. Like, it's entirely skill based to keep the chain going. Your hope was fulfilled with the remakes, dude. Same. Like nearly everything that I wanted to hear about today, that I mentioned, like everything I mentioned wanting yesterday, almost all of it was announced and addressed here. I think the only thing that really wasn't was like shiny hunting, like directly mentioning that, but we really don't hear about that until data miners kind of say it, or like we get someone who's played the game and, you know, breaks down the hints that, you know, everyone's kind of giving. So yeah, I'm excited. This is the most excited I've been for a Pokemon game coming out, I think, since I started streaming, to be completely real. I'm genuinely very, very excited for these. SOS is kind of no thoughts, head empty for you anyways. Yeah, like, it's all set up, and then just, like, you know, you gotta get in a rhythm of it, but, like, it's just the skill of knowing how to, like, set up the teams and stuff. But it's got good pacing to it. That's really the thing for me, is it's got a good pacing to it. On top of, like, not just, like, breaking at random, you know? Obviously, Poke Radar does that, but Poke Radar, I feel like, is just such, like, an iconic method at this point. I hope they make the fog area as annoying as it was in the original, or even worse. I doubt they'll ever make anything worse, but yeah, I really do hope that the games stay as difficult as they were originally. It'll be interesting to see how they handle fairy typing. That'll be an interesting thing, because I feel like fairy typing is around for sure. So we'll see what Cynthia's team's like if that's the case. I think I saw some people talking about Magnezone being a good option to swap in to kind of give a wall to that, while also keeping it Sinnoh, like the team's Sinnoh based. So yeah, I'm very excited here. I'm looking forward to the day I can get the games. I can get them home. I can start streaming them the moment they come out. That'll be like an all-night kind of stream deal into the next day. I mean, like, it's the kind of thing where now that I know I'm super excited, I'm definitely like marking on the work calendar that I'm gonna be off. I'm gonna be off at least that Friday, maybe even that Monday, to just like go all in that weekend. See how much of the game we can get done. I imagine we can definitely get through the actual like story on at least one copy, and start working through that text. Basically, we're gonna rely heavily on like knowing which Pokemon are version exclusives and such to figure out exactly how we're gonna go about that. But I'm just gonna see how fast we can get as much of this stuff as possible. You know, challenge. I think it'll be a fun challenge to play it, to complete the whole dex and get as many shinies as we can towards like a shiny dex before the release of Legends. I think that'll be a fun like 2 or 3 months. Hey Art, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. They could give her a Rotom Heat. True. There's a lot of options, so we'll just have to see. You know, this is Ilka's first real shot at it. They've still got Masuda on board, you know, directing and everything. Check out new Rowlet. Yeah, you're a green Rowlet now. Woo! How's it going, Art? How are you doing? What are your thoughts on all the on the BDSP and Legends announcements today? This man, I'm excited. I'm so excited about it. Genuinely the most excited I've been about Pokemon announcements in a while. Like, I was so concerned given the silence that we had on anything Pokemon in the past little bit. So I'm very glad that we got announcements about both things, and they were both very good announcements. So yeah, I'm excited. Once you get paid, you're gonna get your pre-orders in. Nice. Yeah, I can't do that yet. Generally, I don't do the pre-orders, but given that it's still up in the air, the situation in the world as far as me getting physical copies from somewhere, Whether or not places will even like want to do midnight releases and stuff, I need to figure that out, and I need to figure out where I'll be. Because like I've still got like my apartment hunting stuff happening and everything right now, and trying to find a new place. So I can't just like go to the same place I went before, because it'll probably be like, you know, nearly 100 miles away. Over 100 miles round trip just to get this game. So yeah, I gotta figure out what that plan's gonna be. But man, I'm gonna be set to rock and roll come come November with these games. Just like figuring out the plan for hunting everything, for playing through the games on stream. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm so excited. And then only a few months later we get Legends, and Legends is shaping up to be a really well fleshed out game in my opinion. Like my concern with Legends was just that the game was gonna feel empty. And you know, like it was just gonna be here's the hub city. Here is an island in the shape of Sinnoh. Go. You know, like that's kind of the thought that I had. Like that's all it was gonna be, but with the fact that it seems like they've divided everything up into different areas that you can go to, which I don't know if those are areas you're gonna be able to freely walk through, if you're gonna have to like fast travel to them, or what the situation there is. But it sounds like you actually are gonna have like objectives and quests and all this stuff going on, and there'll actually be different areas that are built up. It's gonna be really good, I think. Your hopes are high, and they have been satisfied. See, that's where I think my expectations were pretty low, but my hopes were, I think, pretty reasonable in terms of like things that I feel like are required for the game to be good. Like was basically what my hopes were. Was like, tell us that Legends has more of a story than just go catch everything. Tell us, you know, show us that BDSP's lighting engine has been updated. Like basic things like that were what came to my mind of like what I wanted, and they hit all of those and added a bunch to it. And man, that's the best way to go into these kind of things, I have learned this year. Because going into Nintendo's E3, I was just like, they'll show some games, maybe they'll be cool. And I was very excited having seen a lot of that stuff. But that's just the mentality I went into this with, is like, show us that the games aren't bad. You know, that's all I wanted, was just show us the games aren't bad. And they did that. And I'm very excited. I'm extremely excited now. The Growlithe got you feeling things. The regional forms, the Hisuian forms of Pokemon, dope. So good. The new evolutions are great. That Growlithe does look really nice. Yeah, I know. It's cool, and I love the way that like it's on the fly deciding if you're gonna battle or not. That's really cool. You know, where it's like you can throw a Pokeball at it. Granted, they never showed a Pokemon breaking out, so I don't know how that works. So at least I don't think they did. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, my morning got very hectic, like literally at the end of that Presents. Like the Presents was ending and I was added to a like 2-hour long call for work. So I didn't have time to process a lot of it, but man, it all just looks so good. It all looks so good, and it'll be interesting to see what they take from Legends, and if they implement it into Gen 9, or if like Legends just becomes its own thing and those mechanics stick to it. I don't know, but hopefully playing Legends ends up being a very enjoyable experience. Yo, what's going on, Splash Harry Doggo? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, no, it's that Growlithe looks good. The Braviary looks good. The new Basculin evolution's great. Everything just looked so good in it. I'm very excited, and I'm very happy with the announcements from today. As far as the main games went, the other stuff announced, like for one, Unite. I've mentioned, I don't really play MOBAs. I haven't really played Unite, so it's not something I care too much about. And then the other thing they talked about was the Cafe remix, and I felt a little bit bad for that, because I don't know if anyone else if anyone else picked up on it, but I really feel like that Cafe Remix kind of announcement was like, no one's playing this game. Can you guys play this game, please? Like, that's kind of the feeling I got. Like, I don't think a lot of people wanted to play Pokemon Tsum Tsum. Because that's basically what it is. But yeah, the main announcements from today were fantastic. Like, Rowlet is so cute, right? Apparently it's like a rocky helmet, basically, and it's probably gonna have like good defense until it makes one solid attack with it, and then its attack and defense stats are gonna drop some. Even more hype for BDSP now, dude. Right? Like I was pre this announcement, I was like accepting of BDSP just as a concept. I was like, yeah, this makes sense. They'll do it. It'll probably be okay. I mean, it might not look great, you know, because we saw a lot of the like. We all saw a lot of the things highlighting the jankiness of the initial like reveal trailers visuals, but they definitely fixed it up. It's not perfect. It's definitely not perfect, but it's good. It's good, and it's a lot better than it looked in February. Oshawott best otter. You can get your starter, man. You can get your starter in Legends. Yeah, no, that's just I'm extremely excited. I'm extremely excited to see what to see if we learn anything else, and then just for the games to be out. That's gonna be so much fun. Fingers crossing and fix Garchomp shiny. The thing is, like, I wouldn't expect it to happen, but it could. It very well could. I mean, look at Sword and Shield changing Combusken's shiny. Like, you know, usually you don't see the shinies change that late into the game, but they've done it. They've proven it's the thing they'll do. Gonna need help getting a foreign Ditto, or a foreign Gligar? I mean, if you have home, you should theoretically just be able to start the game in a different language and trade, like, play until you get a Ditto and then trade the Ditto up to home and then bring it back down into your English copy, into your English save. That works. Like, I catch my own Masuda method Dittos generally because I just play the game in Japanese up until you can catch a Ditto, catch the Ditto, and then trade it over. I don't know where that lands in terms of Sinnoh. I don't know where we're going to be able to catch a Ditto, but generally you can do that. Yo, what's going on, John? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're excited. All the new Pokemon news. All the new Pokemon announcements. I am so excited for it now. I'm so incredibly excited. I did notice there was one thing. I don't know. Did anyone else notice in the trailer for Legends when it was like showing the like panning shot of the player riding the deer? The camera was like incredibly shaky. I pre-ordered both games pre-ordered all ready to go. I'm excited. I'm excited. I gotta figure out what GameStop's gonna be closest to me so I can get the games at midnight. Hopefully. You're on your way home from school and found a shiny Nuzleaf via Ultra Wormhole. Hey, congrats, John. That's awesome. Yeah, so the one thing that stood out to me in the entire, like, the one thing that I went like, ugh, in the entire Legends trailer was that weird camera movement. And if that's what I'm noticing, the game is so much better. If like a camera movement specific to the trailer is the only thing I really pick up on. It looks like Game Freak's showing favoritism with Cyndaquil, Rowlet, and Oshawott. To an extent, sure, and I'm not going to complain because Rowlet's the best, but from everything I've seen, it's basically like they basically chose starters that had a theme that would fit with feudal Japan. Might go for Oshawott in Legends? Traitor to the Rowlet next to your name, but nah, I joke. Honestly, all the starters are good choices with Legends. I'm happy with their choices for that. I obviously am taking Rowlet, but no, in general, it's pretty good. It's been 2 years since you got another shiny Nuzleaf. Hey, well, you got another one. Now you just got to evolve it, and then you're gonna have a Shrifty, and then find a shiny Seedot. Take that, Snivy and Tepig. Yeah, it's just the fact that, like, you know, decision-wise an Archer, Samurott is obviously a Samurai, and apparently Typhlosion's name in Japanese is a lot more similar to, like, is very similar to some title used in feudal Japan, so, like, it's also a reference that makes sense in Japanese. So all of them are very themed picks. What's going on, Dave? Welcome to the stream. Just want to be able to shiny hunt Darkrai and PDSP. That'd be great. I don't know if that'll happen. Event Pokemon and such are always kind of strange and weird, and I feel like they just kind of push the shinies of those off now, unfortunately. Gen 5's the only gen you've never played. I've played a little bit of it. I haven't beaten it. I need to go back and play it more and, like, actually beat it at some point. Rowlet day 1 on Legends. Shiny Rowlet? Heck yeah. But yeah, I'm excited. I've mentioned it already in stream, but more people are in here, but I think my plan is going to be this is even an I think, this is I know. I know that my plan will be the day that BDSP comes out. I will be taking that day off of work for sure and streaming nearly the entire day, if not the entire day. I don't know what the schedule's going to end up being, but we're like several hours at least that first day, and I'm going to try. My goal is to complete the dex, get the shiny charm, whatever level of dex is required for that, and then try to shiny hunt as much of the dex as possible before Legends comes out. So we're hitting the ground running on the 19th. We're hitting the ground running with BDSP. We're gonna get as much done as we can, as fast as we can. I'm excited for it. I'm excited because we're gonna do BDSP, then we're gonna go do Legends, and whichever one we're gonna keep doing both. I think, but whatever one has more staying power, we're definitely gonna be doing the most of. You know, 5th gen, best gen. Not gonna lie, I still need to finish it. I played until the introduction of the evil team, and then I stopped. Like, that's as far as I got, which I know is on me, but I'm excited. I'm so incredibly excited. Can you guys tell that I'm excited? No, like, this is... I don't know, I'm looking forward to this release so much, and I'm looking forward to streaming it so much. Like, both games have, like, a unique feel to them, and I'm excited to share in the experience with everyone on it. You know? Yeah, so I'm very much so looking forward. Very much so looking forward to this. I'm basically, for the next 3 months, I am going to be planning, like, I'm going to be setting up my game plan for the, like, coming months after that of streaming. Basically, we've got half of November, we've got all of December, and most of January. We basically have 2 months between the game releases, so we have 2 months of just pure BDSP gameplay. Yo, Gia, what's going on, man? How you doing? How you been? 5th gen, best gen, you agree? It's a favorite in the chat. It's a favorite. Back then you were excited but worried, now you're just super excited. Like, I feel like that probably describes how I was the most, because, yeah, for me, there was definitely some excitement just to having Sinnoh come back and to seeing kind of what open world Pokemon was like. I've said I'm not the biggest fan of open world, especially, like, when it's not done very well, and I was very concerned Game Freak wasn't going to do it right. Because I will say they didn't really do it right with the wild area. I didn't enjoy that. But it seems like they have a better idea of how to do it with Legends. And just BDSP in general, again, all of my concerns that I wanted to have addressed today during the presents were addressed in one way or another, and I'm very pleased by that. Hope following Pokemon is like it was in Let's Go, where your Pokemon doesn't have to be in the front of your party. I would imagine it's like that. That's a pretty simple way to do it now, but at the same time, yeah, like, that's obviously not necessary. That's not necessarily how it'll happen, right? I think open world Pokemon works in Legends because it's not a replacement for a proper Pokemon main series. We'll still be getting BDSP. Yeah, so that's, at the end of the day, I'm totally fine with any of like the really innovative and good mechanics coming from Legends into the main games. Who knows? Maybe this battle system works and like can transfer in. I don't know. Granted, I don't know how much in the main series game they would mess with the traditional mechanics of battles, so who knows? But, you know, this is just an example of like something from that game that might transfer well into the mainline games. Transfer that stuff in, but yeah, keep open world Pokemon as Pokemon Legends. Make a Hoenn version, make a Kanto version, make a Johto version. Like, you know, you can make so much in that Legends subset of games that I feel like they don't have to encroach on the main games. Because yeah, that's definitely it, right? Like, it's not a replacement. It's another thing alongside, and by taking a familiar location, and I'm making a whole bunch of hand gestures below the stream, so that's why I'm shaking the Pokeball and awaking Pikachu from his slumber. But yeah, like a lot of the, like, you can bring a lot of the mechanics in, and you can use Legends to be a bit more experimental. And yeah, it fits, because at the same time, yeah, if you don't like open world Pokemon games, you're not missing out on a main game by not playing Legends. It is a secondary like spin-off series. Legends Arceus looks like it's a good game. It really does. It really does. It looks so much better in the new trailers. I'm very excited for it. Hope Pokemon collabs? Collabs with what? Not gonna listen because you don't want spoilers. Haven't got to watch it yourself. Ah, Shy, I'm sorry. Go watch it now. Go watch it now. Come back in like, I guess 30 minutes after you've watched it. Definitely go watch it. It's great. Dave, what's going on? What starter am I going with in PDSP? You're going with Chimchar. For my main playthrough, I'm almost certainly going to be going with Piplup. Piplup's what I chose when I initially played through Pearl back in the day, so I think that's the one I'll be going with. That was short-lived. Gotta go. Alright, see you later, Jiha. It was really good seeing you, man. Glad to be able to talk, even if it was only for a few minutes, about the new stuff. And yeah, have a good day, man. Trainer abandons Pokemon. Instantly regrets it. Critlup, yes. Oh yeah, we gotta keep the Critlup emote around. We gotta get the Critlup emote going like crazy during streams. During BDSP streams. Yeah, so I'll definitely be going with Piplup on my main save. I don't know, for the secondary save, I'm probably going to start it, get one of them, trade it over to my main save, then start with the other one and play. That's probably how it's going to go, just so I can get those Pokemon as fast as possible. Maybe Game Freak and Ilka plan the first trailers to look wonky, so when the second trailers come in, then everyone's hype. The real conspiracy here, Juan. It's like the Sonic movie. Darman? I don't know who that is. Tortwig for you. They're all good choices. They're all great starters. Man, I'm just so hyped. I'm so hyped for this now. Everything about it seems good. I'm looking forward to it. I think a lot of it is that I'm really excited to stream it, and I think this is the first game that's come out this will be the first game coming out that I think the community as a whole is actually excited for. Because, like, since I started streaming, we've gotten Usum, we've gotten Let's Go, and we've gotten Sword and Shield. Usum just kind of existed. I think a lot of people were upset that wasn't Sinnoh remakes, but I think just in general, they existed, they came out, they happened. And they weren't really anything special. They were Sun and Moon advanced, right? They were like Sun and Moon plus. So if you'd played Sun and Moon, that's what Usum was. At the time, I wasn't nearly as big of a fan of the idea of like streaming my like playthrough of a game. So I didn't really enjoy that streaming playthrough, and that kind of ruined it a little bit, not gonna lie. Let's Go coming out, I think everyone was very hesitant about. But ended up being pretty good. It's just the shiny hunting after a little bit did get stale. Ironic that I'm back to it now, but just, you know, at that point I was like, I'd rather be doing SOS, and I went back to that. Then Sword and Shield, I wasn't even super duper excited about when it came out. It came out, I played it that first day on stream, and then just played it on my own after that, and didn't really come back around to streaming it for several months. Gonna resend this message because you really wanted to hear your thoughts on it. With how good Legends is looking, it almost feels like they intentionally were lazy with Sword and Shield to focus more time on this. It's possible, but it just seems like everything behind the scenes... It just seems like from everything that they've said, that the behind the scenes on Sword and Shield was a dumpster fire. For various technical reasons, it was a dumpster fire. So, they were... It feels like they were definitely clamoring to get Sword and Shield together for, like they were working on it later than they should have been. As opposed to Legends, which looks really good. And like you saw, we've seen how much Legends has improved in about 6 months. You might be able to assume that this trailer was put together very recently, whereas the trailer for February was put together a bit earlier. So maybe 7-8 months. The game's really come together in that time. So I don't know. It's an interesting thought. It's an interesting thought for sure that like the time that they put, like the time that didn't go into Sword and Shield ended up going into this. Because my thought is really that like they just didn't care about Sword and Shield until way too late, and then they couldn't do anything about it. I say that as someone who likes Sword and Shield, as much fun as you had with it, you can admit that it's far from Pokemon's best work. Yeah, it's just it didn't hold me as much as I would have liked it to. Do you think that vegan teacher hates Pokemon? What? Gen 4 starters were the second type counter the other starters first. I am so looking forward to these games. But it is a very interesting idea that they might have like sabotaged Sword and Shield. But I don't think that's the case, because why would the DLC have been as like actually solid as it is? You know? But it is a very interesting like kind of thought on it. How do I not know? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm clueless about some stuff on the internet, Splash. You want Ash to battle Peter Griffin in the anime? I bet it'll happen this season. I think it'll be canon. But yeah, I don't know. So did anyone notice how shaky the camera was in some of like the panning shots in the Legends trailer? Because to me what it seemed like was that the camera was locked to the trainer and moving relative to the trainer, and the trainer was like on a galloping like steed, right? So the camera's like moving like a gallop and looks really funky. But the trainer's always like perfectly smoothly moving across the screen. It's like you see the background just kind of like slowly shaking. Yo, what's going on? Vanillix, welcome to the stream. Legends also had some slight frame drops. That is not surprising in the least. I'm not surprised by that, but I will take slight frame drops over like consistent 5 FPS. A fake camera shaking in the game, is that even possible? So, like, my theory on that is obviously that camera's not like a real game camera. That's just like a camera that they used for like a cinematic shot, so they didn't really put that much thought into it, right? Like, you're supposed to see it for that little bit of a scene. But if you go back and watch the Legends trailer, when the player's is like on the ride Pokemon and the Pokemon is galloping, the camera is also moving along with that gallop. So basically what I think is happening is they wanted that really epic sweeping shot of the player riding through the snowy forest. And the camera, they just wanted the camera to like shift around the player and move and keep the player in certain spots on the frame. So the player's moving through the scene in engine, and the camera is locked to the player and moving relative to the player while the player moves through the scene. So it's kind of like how like you can think of the moon going in a circle around the Earth, but then like look at its like path around the sun, and it's just like it's a circle around another circle. If that makes that's probably really confusing in a way to think about it, but since the player isn't moving perfectly linearly and is galloping, the camera also like inherits that gallop, I think. I'll be honest, it looks 10 times better, but some of the textures need work. Maybe they'll keep working on it. I don't know. I'm to the point I will assume that what we saw today is final product for both games, unless like stated otherwise. But yeah, no. Given that it's been 6 months of hearing nothing about these games, I am very pleased with what we saw today. Well, Peter Griffin's team be all legendaries. I thought it would just be the fighting chicken and like Brian. Also want Ash to battle Kanye West. That'd be interesting. BDSP looks sick though. Dude, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm excited for both of them. My plan, Vanillix, is... I already knew this beforehand just because I was going to be streaming it or playing it. I'm taking the 19th off work. I'll be taking the day it comes out off. And have that whole weekend to play. And I think my plan is to stream as much as possible and try my best to complete the decks, get the charm, and shiny hunt as many of the Pokemon as I can for like a living shiny dex. National, Sinnoh, like regional or national, depending on like what's required and what's available in the game. I'm assuming it's going to be Sinnoh. I assume it's some custom Sinnoh decks. So I'll be going for that and see how much of it we can get before Legends comes out. I doubt we'll finish anywhere near the whole thing. Probably looking at like maybe a quarter of it, possibly, and even that's probably a very like liberal estimate on how many I'll find. I really hope Ilka continues to work with the Pokemon Company and Game Freak. I bet they will. Assuming these games do well, I assume they will, and if BDSP does well, I think Pokemon Company will look into the concept of spin-offs being handled by others. Let's check. Okay, normal, not shiny. I had to check that. Couldn't let Moltres go without, like, at least looking at it. So now you could get Munchlax, was hella rare in the originals. Yeah, no honey this time. No, like, weird honey tree. Which is nice. Yeah, Munchlax is part of the hideaways. I think the hideaways are going to be a shiny hunting method. Who knows if it'll be, like, just a static, like, rate increase, like Friend Safari, or if it's going to be some form of method hunting or, like, chaining or something. I don't know. We'll just have to learn more about it. I'm excited to see what happens with it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm so excited. When we saw the ball capsules, they didn't think they'd bring it back. They brought back a lot of this stuff. I'm pleased. I'm very pleased with what got brought back, and I'm just very pleased in general with what's in these games. you're right about the platinum content, that it's mostly there. Yeah, it seems like a lot of stuff. Haven't been hyped for a Pokemon game since USub. Like, honestly, for me, this goes beyond USub. Because the thing is, at least for me with USub at the time, is like, I was still very heavily playing Sun and Moon. So for me, like, it wasn't that big of a... It was like, okay, it's the game I'm already still playing, just with an extra little bit of stuff. So I am very, very excited for these games. This is the most hyped I've been for a Pokemon game to come out since I started streaming. The Underground was added in Platinum? To what level? Because I definitely remember doing stuff in Pearl. Like, I'm not the most well-versed in Sinnoh, so I don't know. What was the difference in the Underground between Platinum and, like, between, like, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum? Would your anime team be, yours would be Duat, Lucario, Infernape, Sceptile, Shiny, Umbrella. That's an interesting choice. Flygon. I don't know. I don't know what, like, if my team would be different for the anime. I don't know. I don't really even know what my, like, full team would be. I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants when it comes to my teams. Distortion World was referenced in the trailer. That'd be great to see in 3D. So does Iconic Line from Platinum. They definitely seem to be taking the best bits of everything and adding it together. Again, I need to go and watch the trailer like 2 or 3 more times. Because for me, it's like, it all just went so fast. And I was like, live, like, texting with multiple different, like, chats as it was happening, just like as far as like texting Mel, texting friends, and just like while it was streaming, so I probably missed various little tiny things here and there. But and then, like I mentioned, like I immediately had to like didn't even have time to process or like really digest any of the information. I had to go back to like a really intense work meeting. So so for me, I need to go back and like rewatch it and see what I missed. If they do Distortion World, that'd be great, yeah. Shiny Embryon, I know, I was just teasing. I was teasing with the typo. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this. It seems very well done. Obviously, it's not like the Gen 8 engine Sinnoh game people were kind of hoping for, but I think it's gonna play really well. It's gonna have its own like unique feel to it, being the 3D chibi design that it is, but it's gonna be nice. The one thing they didn't touch on that I did want to hear about, I just thought of this because I got so wrapped up in everything. They haven't discussed how the UI is gonna work. Like, they haven't discussed how the UI is gonna incorporate anything from the second screen on the original DS. We still don't know any of that. Ready to jam to the leaked OST a few weeks before release. Yeah, once the preloads start happening. It autocorrects. I know. I was just teasing. Because, yeah, I can totally see Umbreon getting corrected to Umbrella. Ooh, excuse me. I'm excited, guys. I'm so excited. It's gonna be such a hype thing. It's gonna be such a hype game. I think both games are. And OCU is super faithful. They even have the old ding from Gen 4, and you love it. Yeah, so I guess like the one thing there still remains, like how will any of the stuff that was done on the secondary screen be handled? Obviously, like battle UI can just be changed. That's been done on single screens and on dual screens. That's not a problem. It's like the Poketch stuff that was on the bottom screen that they no longer have a space for. It's like, how will any of that be handled? Because my main concern there is that's how Poké Radar was handled. Like, Poké Radar happened on the bottom screen, so they'd probably have to... I mean, yes, if they're going to add it, they have to rework it. So that's one thing I did want to see, was how have they reworked it. That's a very core design decision that has been made already. So it's just a matter of seeing what they've decided. Because at this point, I don't think they're working on the game anymore. contests were on those screens. Oh yeah, they reworked contests. The only thing that you would like if they had used the full-size models during the battles in the overworld, but the super small chibi is fine too. Yeah, I think they did that because they want like the overhead view of it to look identical to what it did in Gen 4. You know, proportionally and everything. Like, they wanted everything to look the same. Because if you go to the bigger models in the overworld, then why not just, like, redesign the overworld entirely to be, like, Gen 8 Sinnoh? Why not do that? Actually, like, the chibi, they made it look prettier. The proportions are still weird. They just... The direction and the way that this trailer was presented is how the first one should have been presented for BDSP. That's my thought. They really goofed with the weird amount that they focused on not the proper angle of the chibis. Because the chibis look fine from overhead because they're trying to mimic the original sprite that looked fine from overhead and was designed to be viewed from overhead. So when the whole thing's designed to be viewed from above, it looks fine. But when your first introduction to this thing is from the side, it looks weird. And they didn't really show that all that much. There were a couple scenes that like the camera pulled down in different ways. If it happens every once in a while, it's not too big of a deal. But it's definitely a thing that like they focused more on top-down shots than what like actually is most of the gameplay, and it looks fine. It's just, they had a lot more cinematic stuff in the first trailer. The trailer was so well done. It was really good. That was one of the first things I commented on when the BDSP stuff started, was this trailer is how the first one should have been directed for BDSP. Because I don't think they really showed off anything that wouldn't have already been well enough into the works that they could, like, demo. Legends, I imagine a lot of the stuff in Legends wasn't ready to be shown off. That wouldn't surprise me. They goofed on purpose in the first trailer, but that's just a theory, a trailer theory. Really, that's just always going to be that like tinfoil hat thing now. After the Sonic movie did it. That's just my theory now. But yeah, the idea that the first trailer was just goofed to make this one look better. The thought that like... Yeah, the thought that Sword and Shield was goofed so these look better. Like, everything like that, you can just always just say that at this point. And like, there's potential that it's the truth. There's always going to be the potential it's the truth now. No matter what. This trailer worked. It got me excited. It got me excited for both games. I am very much so looking forward to playing these games in the coming months now. Hisuian and Growlithe is adorable. It is. The Hisuian forms are great. One modern thing in Pokemon games that Game Freak has continuously gotten right is the regional forms. Almost every single one of those has been fantastic. And they've been doing a really good job at picking Pokemon for it. Because they could easily just make like 4 different regional variants of Charizard. They could easily do that, or do it with like Pidgey or something. But they've done a pretty good job at choosing the Pokemon to do it with, you know. Like giving Pokemon that actually reasonably need a new evolution and stuff like that. They've done a really good job with. You screamed about regional variants. The way they introduced it to was pretty good, because when that Braviary showed up, it's like, oh, they added regionals. They're pulling a Gen 4 with giving old Pokemon new evolutions. Yeah, I mean, they did it. They started doing it in Galar, so, like, I guess they kind of started doing it in Galar, but they really did it with the Hisuian stuff, and, like, again, they did a fantastic job with it. Props to them. Props to them for the Hisuian forms. They're really good. How would Legends Pokemon forms work in current gen games? I mean, they just wouldn't go into anything until the games after it. They've been giving old Pokemon new Evos since Gen 2, though. Yeah, true. Sinnoh was a big one that did it though. Sinnoh was a big one to do it. Gen 2 definitely added stuff. Gen 2 added stuff. Gen 3 really didn't. Gen 4 and Sinnoh added stuff, and then they really didn't until like a couple of the Galarian forms got new Evos in Gen 8. So I can see saying it feels like a Sinnoh thing just because Sinnoh's the last place you can really remember it happening. I think Hisui and Braviary is basically your paraglider, like Breath of the Wild. So much of it's like Breath of the Wild. Like, that is a constant comparison that will be drawn. And I think Pokemon kind of wants you to. Wants you to draw that comparison. I don't know if anyone listened, but for one, the menu in Legends, like I guess it's a crafting menu, looks nearly identical. Looks very much so like a, you know, sure you can copy my homework, but like change a little bit so it doesn't look like we cheated. Like that's what it looks like. To me at least, that's what that looks like. And so I was very focused on that. The sounds in the menu sound like Breath of the Wild menu sounds. It's funny. It's so funny that that's how it is. Literally said, "Hey, look, it's that feature from Breath of the Wild." Like, yeah, when they were riding on the Braviary, it was definitely like that's the Breath of the Wild paraglider. Granted, like, I can't blame them. I can't blame them for that. You know, if they're a company in the Nintendo family, and they're looking to develop a big open world Nintendo Switch game, where do you look? You look right at Breath of the Wild when that's the kind of tone you're trying to set, when that's the kind of scale of your world you're trying to go with. You know, like that's yeah, don't reinvent the wheel. Look at what worked well. Because that's pretty much what everyone's been saying is we want open world Pokemon, we want open world Pokemon, give us Breath of the Wild Pokemon. Like that's what people have been saying, and so that's what we're getting. And it makes sense. Because what was I gonna say? Yeah, like even the big like red-eyed Pokemon that you can battle, they just remind me of Guardians. They remind me of the like overworld like Guardians that you'd have to deal with in Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild's a massive success and it won Game of the Year. It's like Pokemon companies like that. Yeah. That's definitely like it's like yeah, we want to make open world. Breath of the Wild is the masterclass in making open world. We're also Nintendo. We're like basically Nintendo, so we can just copy that. Is really the vibe I get from this. I don't mind it. If anything, I think it means it'll just be a bunch of staying power when it comes to Legends. Various like challenge runs and stuff like that can happen and everything. Yeah, I'm excited. You can slightly copy us. You can slightly copy us if it means that you end up selling several thousand more of our consoles. That's basically what it is. Is like Nintendo will give Pokemon Company anything if they ask for it. Said Genshin Impact sitting in the corner. What about Genshin? Yeah, no, I keep saying it because it's true, and I'm hyped. I'm so excited for these games. Oh, it's Zelda-like, gotcha. Yeah, I never really played Genshin. I downloaded it onto my tablet, but then I never played it. Oh, Cyrus's ancestor. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, some people were like, is this gonna be, are we like on Team Galactic? It's like, yes. Like, Galaxy Team is definitely what becomes Team Galactic. That wasn't like the most subtle way of introducing the idea that like, either we'll get a twist villain or it's just gonna be like, canon that like group eventually becomes Team Galactic. The cheekbones? Were they strong? I forget. Again, so much of this trailer I'm gonna have to go back and watch again, just to like fully take it in and get like all the information about it, and really absorb it. But at the end of the Legends will foreshadow Gen 4. Probably to some extent. I don't think it'll get too like overt with it, but I think they'll definitely leave like little hints towards it and stuff. Sonatsu, konnichiwa. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Yeah, Legends is definitely gonna like hint towards like Diamond and Pearl stuff, and I think BDSP is probably gonna make some kind of references to the old historic Hisuian region. I think it's gonna do that. I'd be very surprised if there wasn't at least like some side NPC dialogue that you could interact with. Because, I mean, obviously they're going to try to, like, link the games and promote them, but, man, I can't wait to play it. Do wonder if anyone will ever reference old times. Yeah, I definitely think that's going to happen, like, it's some side character dialogue. Is definitely going to come up that way. Man, we really haven't been lucky with this Krabby. I don't want to do it too much, but I'm going to go ahead and start redoing stuff. Bet Cynthia's grandmother is in Salacion Town, with the ruins of the legendaries will most likely mention Hisui. Maybe, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, we're gonna do this for a minute. We're gonna do this until we run out of until we use like 2 more lures. So I can't run around too much because it's expensive. But once we find a Krabby, I can definitely go and get more items. Very satisfied with new Pokemon information. Me too. I'm very, very excited for it. I'm very excited to play the new games now. You've been after Legends. Game Freak's gonna do Gen 9. Yes, yeah. It kind of in the same regards that A comes after B. I think Gen 9 is definitely the next thing on the table. Probably 2023 is when we would, like, holiday 2023 is my guess for Gen 9. And that's part of why I was really interested in how people would receive the information today. Is I think BDSP and Legends will be popular all the way until the 2023 games. Would like to see a mainline Pokemon game where we start off part of the enemy team and become champion and hero in the end, but you're asking for too much. Yeah, Pokemon's not really known for, like, in-depth character growth. Would want more time between it, so maybe Ilka can make something? Maybe. Really, what I would like to see, and granted, Legends is kind of doing this, and BDSP to an extent kind of being a bit more of like a side game than a direct, like, than like an ORAS kind of being a direct in-line sequel. I just want to see more, like a more fleshed out game library at any given point. But I wouldn't be surprised if we did see like Gen 9 happen in 2023, late 2023, so like 2 years from now, I think is when we would probably see it. Joshua, what's going on? You need megas. Yeah, I don't think there are megas in VDSP. I think they would have been mentioned today, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by that. With them having talked about the remakes being faithful remakes, I'm not super surprised. A lot of the fan games do the Evil Team idea. Yeah, but that's fan games and not Game Freak. Can't wait to almost die from Ursa Ring and Legends. Having the Pokemon attack you is gonna be so cool. I'm so looking forward to it. Imagine if Rockstar made a Pokemon game and they have the power to make them yearly. Gosh. Okay, but Rockstar isn't exactly the company I would look to for yearly releases now. How many console generations has GTA 5 been the main game for? Pokemon being able to attack you is terrifying. But it adds so much depth to like the overworld interactions. And I'm all for it. And the fact that like you can dynamically decide like I'm going to throw a Pokeball at this Pokemon or I'm going to start a battle with this Pokemon. And the fact that it's just like I don't know, everything about it's so cool to me. I'm very excited. I'm very excited and I'm very happy with what we saw today. It was a lot of really good information. Rockstar would milk one Pokemon game for 10 years. Pokemon Online, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, GTA 6, I think, has effectively been, like, confirmed that they're going to make it, but then GTA Online kept making them money. Which, like, I don't blame them, it's smart, but, like... So I'm not trying to rag on them, I just think it's funny that it got brought up that, like, if Rockstar made the game, they'd have the ability to make it yearly, and it's like, Rockstar's probably the worst, behind maybe Bethesda, at making sequels in the modern day. Legends should be rated T for animals attacking the main character with powers. I think it should be rated M, and, like, we see the physical damage caused by a lightning strike to the face. M-rated Pokemon games. Be a terrible idea. Man, hopefully we can get this Krabby soon. Maybe the Krabby doesn't like us talking about all this Sinnoh and Hisui stuff. All you care about is Oshawott and Legends. I'm very happy that Rowlet gets a second run at starter. I'm very happy for that. Imagine the character in Pokemon designs, right? Somebody would let handle Pokemon would definitely be Square Enix. I don't know about that. Granted, I know they're mostly just the publisher, but my latest Square Enix experience was Outriders, which, like, as someone who loves the post-game of Pokemon, I don't know if I could handle a publisher that, you know, made a game in a franchise, or like in like a genre that's heavily post-game based that had no post-game. Piplup and Chimchar yeeted Turtwig in the opening. I have to go back and watch it. I need to watch it again, this time paying full attention. I'm pretty sure Square Enix abandoned that game. I mean, the thing is, they weren't the developers, they were the publishers. It was developed by People Can Fly, which is, like, a separate studio. So, like, that one's really not on them, it's just, like, really my only, like, Square Enix experience is a game that's, like, completely server-based, despite being able to be played single-player. Yikes, that voice crack. Was completely, like, online dependent, despite, like, having single-player modes, and then just, like, had no post-game. People Can Fly is the former Epic Gears of War people, right? Yeah. Yeah, which is why the combat system was so good. But The polish just wasn't there, unfortunately. But yeah, People Can Fly was the original Gears of War team. Imagine EA making yearly Pokemon games. The same thing over and over again. Could be like the FIFA games where literally all they did was change the PNGs that like said the year. $60 every year, the gym leaders have a new roster. That's all that's different. But yeah. Personally, we don't need new mainline Pokemon games every year. The most I would say is I would like to see Pokemon content every year. Even if it's spin-off games or main games. Just something every year. Some kind of console release every year, and I'm happy. You know, like, if we got Sword and Shield one year, we got the DLC the next, and then we got Snap like half a year later, which is kind of what we did. I'm fine with that. That's totally cool with me. That's like the level of releases I'm fine with, where it's like there's constantly something happening, but it's not always like the next big thing. We can have some games that come out that are just kind of like side games and stuff that experiment a little bit. You will admit EA is getting a little better, except their sports games. Their sports games are never gonna... Here's the problem with sports games. They always number them based off the year. The only thing that changes in sports every year is the roster. There's not always a massive new rule change to the NFL or anything. Occasionally you might have like a singular rule change about something, and I think usually that even happens more so in college sports than in like NFL stuff. But right, like it doesn't, like, I will admit there's not a need for a new game every year with that, so like there's not enough change to like care every year with that. But there are people who pay $60 every year for a new game, so why would they not just like slap a new like sticker on the front of it and sell it again? It sucks. I dislike it. From an outsider's perspective, I think it's stupid and I dislike it, but I can understand why EA would do it. I really want them to let Game Freak work in the background to make a good game and let some other developers do something like a spin-off or remake of a classic. Yeah, 100% I think it should always be, like, you should be getting Bandai and you should be getting other companies to do the side games. Legends being the exception, as Legends is a side game, but I think Game Freak wants to have that one. I think Game Freak wants to have something different to work on. So I think that makes sense to leave under Game Freak's reign, but like, yeah, if you make another, if you made more mystery dungeon games, or you found a new way to make ranger games, or just any new type of spin-off game. Look at the fact that Snap was developed by Bandai. Like, that's how it should be working. You should be getting other companies to continue to keep the franchise going, so Game Freak isn't rushed to put something out every year. It's like, Game Freak's got 2 years for this because, you know, Square is working on something, you know. Like, that's the kind of thing we should see. Game Freak wanted to take a step forward in the series because it's their baby. Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah, at the end of the day, Game Freak's never going to let go of Pokemon. Would like to see a Mario Kart Pokemon game. You would die by laughing. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting. It wouldn't fit at all. It wouldn't fit at all in the series, but it would be interesting. They've been doing this since the 90s, so you knew Game Freak would make the next big game. Well, yeah, I mean, it's Game Freak. They're gonna be the ones to make the next big game. That's not like even something that's like, oh, they've been doing it for a while. It's like, it's their series. It's like, it doesn't make sense for anyone else to make like the next big thing, but in my mind, it does make sense for like other developers to be asked to help every once in a while with, hey, do you have an idea that would work well with Pokemon? Do you have an idea that would work well, you know, with Pokemon? Like, is going to developers and asking that, and having them make Pokemon games that fill in the schedule. I don't think there's any developer or like any like studio that would like turn down the opportunity to work on Pokemon. Big or small. Town is the next big game that you forgot about. That happened. Town happened. I remember it like being a big thing that, oh, Game Freak's gonna make another, like, is like making a game that's not Pokemon. And then like not hearing anything else about it until I went, oh yeah, how was that? And then like a couple people were like, it's okay. And most people were like, it was disappointing. Game Freak has a certain charm to their games that certain devs don't have. Yeah, I mean, it's like, again, I don't think at any point, at no point do I think anyone would think to or should have Game Freak work on something that isn't, like, have Game Freak not be the ones developing the main game. About 150 years ago, a Japanese government developed Hokkaido, which is the model for Sinnoh. I think Legends Arceus perfectly expresses the history. That's cool. I didn't know that like the timelines kind of lined up like that. That's interesting, yeah. Because Legends definitely is trying to be, yeah, like the older time in Japan for sure. I definitely like see like them trying to do the design that way. There's a cat in my lap now. If you guys couldn't tell by the microphone moving. I don't think she'll get on camera. When I move and I set up my desk again somewhere, I'm definitely gonna find a way to like have Adele have a spot on the camera whenever she wants. If Pokemon Company would let someone help Game Freak with development, Game Freak wouldn't get all the hate it gets. I just think if Game Freak had more time, it'd be okay. In general, I think it's more so a time thing than a skill thing. Or the time thing makes the skill thing more of a problem. If that makes sense. Like, I just think, like, if we kept getting other side games... Oh no, your cat's not feeling well. I'm so sorry, Cinder. Hopefully she feels better. They just need time. Yeah, they need time, so let other studios make side games. Adele is very firmly in my lap. She doesn't want to move. Well, now that I said that, she decides to move. Merch, anime, and all that. I can get the late other series can do that. Well, it's like, if they just planned for other stuff to be in the middle there, then like there wouldn't be the time crunch, because everything still revolves around that. Those timelines are still always planned, but it's like, it's like, oh, well, we need a game to come out now, so we're gonna theme all of our stuff around that. Game Freak, get your next game out. If that's what the situation is, they could be like, oh, well, we need another game coming out. Well, you know, so-and-so's working on this other game. We can have Ash go there in the anime for a bit and make things from that for a while. Like, if they had more studios working on more spin-off things, they'd have more options to, like, work from for everything else. Would never hate Game Freak because of the demand and time. They need like 2 or 3 other companies to help them make yearly games to make them decent and fresh. Yeah, yeah. And again, it's not like we need main games every year. Like every 3 years for like a new like main game is totally fine. Especially if when we talk about main games, we talk about, like, new generations of games. That's more than enough. I'm gonna see if I can back up enough to get Cat in camera. Oh no, I cannot. Cat. Oh no, Cat's right behind my Cat. Yeah, she's just chilling in my lap. Oh, she probably didn't like that. She's probably gonna get down. Or not. He's in my lap still. She seems to be doing better. That's fantastic. Finally left her little corner that she's been staying in for the past day and a half. Oh, I'm so glad that she's feeling good enough to move then. If only Pokemon Company knew that it's okay to delay things. The problem is there's so many other companies relying on it. Delaying a game is one thing. Delaying merch releases and delaying like TV broadcasts and all that stuff, that's a whole different ballgame. It's one thing to delay a game, disappoint that, like, and, you know, make that fan base wait and, like, update your supply chains with, like, a couple retailers. Because of that, that's one thing. That's one thing. That's totally fine. It's another thing when, like, production facilities are ramping up to make, like, certain, like, plushies and stuff like that. You know. Don't hate Game Freak. I get why games aren't very quality anymore. They're rushed. Oh, yeah. Merch anime and all that can get delayed. Other seasons. It's just a problem of scale. It really is a problem of scale. There's a lot that they're trying to, like, that they'd have to do that. It's just a thing of being a bigger series. My cat is very planted in my lap right now. She usually, like, sits in my lap all day during work, but she wasn't doing that today. I think she realized I was in meetings and that I wasn't, like, I was in meetings and I was talking and I was having to move around because of it and stuff. So she wasn't sitting in my lap, but now she's, like, taking the opportunity and is firmly in my lap. Game Freak has made good games? Oh, absolutely. Obviously, they've made games we all like. We're all here, like, talking about Pokemon. So definitely, I don't think anyone here would say that Game Freak's never made a good game. They haven't made bangers since the DS, but that's okay. I mean, I guess we're getting a remake of the DS stuff. Maybe they can knock this one out. Gen 7 surprised you, though, on how well it did? I mean, yeah, obviously, like, I enjoyed Gen 7. I played thousands of hours of Gen 7, so I like that one. Let's check how many lures I have. I might do some more running. It just feels like it's being more productive. Yeah, I have 6 lures, so we can do a little bit of running. Nothing crazy, but we can at least make some progress with it. Wonder if Omori will continue to take the helm on the main series, kind of like what Masuda did for almost the whole main series. Probably. I think it's definitely getting to the point where Masuda is ready to wind down on that front. You know, still be there to, like, lend a hand, help out. Yeah. Maybe he ends up helping more so with Ilka if Ilka keeps making smaller games. You know, or if Ilka keeps doing remakes in the way that BDSP is done. If he keeps hanging out over there and then Omori continues to work on the new Game Freak projects, I can see that happening. Because, yeah, it definitely seems like when Omori started directing games, that was the sign of Masuda winding down his time at Game Freak. Or at least his time being the face of Game Freak. Can see him helping Ilka more. I definitely think so, especially, again, if Ilka does... I said smaller things, but really just kind of like more throwback remake kind of things like that. I could definitely see him helping out over there a lot more. You know, like if he can give his kind of direction on how he did things and why he did things, I think that works well for him. And it puts him in more of a consulting role than a creative role, and that might be better for him. Who knows? If Ilka does Gen 5, that'd be great. I don't know, I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see how BDSP ends up being received once it's out, and what the timeline would be for a Gen 5 kind of thing. Because that is also a thing where it's like, it makes sense for remakes not to happen as often as brand new games, but it also doesn't quite make sense for remakes to keep happening at half the pace, because eventually you get to the point where it's like the remakes are for a game that was out before the like target audience was born, which we're kind of already getting to. Like if you think about Pokemon as kind of being more of a like children's game, which at the end of the day, it's for everyone, but it's got a target audience of like. Yeah, obviously the games were kind of written around, like, Tajiri's whole thing of, like, being a child, right? Like, nostalgic memories of catching bugs. So, like, you're targeting, like, a 7 to 10-year-old audience with, like, the games, like, mentally there. So if you're making a remake that's more than 10 years old, like, a remake of a game that's more than 10 years old, like, you're technically kind of missing the target audience with it. So it would make sense for remakes to speed up a little bit. And if they sped up, you definitely need a studio that is your Pokemon remake studio. So you effectively get like a Game Freak version and then an Ilka version or something. And they'll have the nostalgia, saying the nostalgia of Gen 4, well, especially will sell well. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, the games will sell fine. It's just, it's not saying that, like, adults don't buy the games, it's just, like, thinking from a perspective of, like, the idea of a game coming out as a remake, like, when your target audience, like, it's a remake for a game that, like, your target audience wasn't even born when it initially came out, right? Like, that does work to a point. Obviously, there's the nostalgia and the people who, like, you know, did play the game. If you do get new people who are like, I've heard of it and stuff. Like, it's not bad. It's just, if you kept having a, you know, one remake for every two new generations, you eventually get to this point where it's like, it's been 25 years, you know, since the initial game came out. That's the kind of feel that there is there, where it's like, eventually the remakes kind of have to hit this right balance of being, you know, not coming out constantly, but not falling so far behind that it makes no sense to really make it. I'm not saying they won't vanillas. I'm not saying it wouldn't sell. I'm saying it slightly misses the point of what the remakes were. eventually it starts to just be like, here's a version of the old game. Like, the spirit of like a Heart Gold Soul Silver remake in Gen 4 is very different from like a Sun and Moon remake in Gen 15 or in Gen 14. You know, like, think about the idea that Gen 14 would be like another 25 years from now, and that's when Sun and Moon would be getting this stuff. That's kind of the thought that I had there. Where it's just like, at some point you have to have someone that's just like kind of making the remakes catch up some and stay and keep pace a little bit. Alright. Come on. We need this crab to shine. I'm going to do one more loop here. I'm going to run out from here, and then we're going to hang out for a little bit. Remakes are catching up a bit. At the moment, no. No. They're right on the same pace they have been. Yeah. Outside of the Fire Red Leaf Green remakes happening in Gen 3, every remake has happened at the generation double the number of their original gen. Gen 2 and Gen 4, Gen 3 and Gen 6, and now Gen 4 and Gen 8. They've all had that, and that's where eventually it starts falling off, right? Like, another 6 years before a black and white remake, like, isn't terrible, but another, like, what, 18 years before a Sun and Moon remake's very different. Remakes shouldn't come out very often, and Pokemon Company knows. Yeah. They shouldn't be every generation, but at the same time, like, if you do it every other, you start falling behind. Like, you start falling behind where I feel like that mark will be. So it's not something that's a problem right now, but it's definitely like at the point where people were like, when are gen... Because really what they got to do is they have to balance... They have to find a like proper balance, right? Where I think right now is a perfect example. Obviously, Sinnoh remakes when has just been a thing people have been screaming for several generations now, at least since Oras came out. However, with all the Sinnoh remakes now thing, between 2017 or between like 2017 when I started streaming and now, I have watched the sentiment in like the community as a whole, and just in my chat, but the community as a whole, shift away from Sinnoh games are the best games to have ever happened, we need the remakes, to Unova games are the best games ever, and we need remakes. And the peak hype of those games started to shift, like to the point where it was like, where Gen 5 was higher than Gen 4. And if they wait as long as they waited between Oras and BDSP for whatever like black and white remakes would be, they might fully miss that hype wave, and we might be fully into people being like, I want Kalos remakes. That's kind of my thought there. It's like eventually the nostalgia for those games isn't going to be as strong, and they miss out like economically and like is it from a business side is my thought there. And Goldie, how's it going? Welcome. You're drinking your water and thought you think you almost swallowed a slug. Yikes. Hopefully you didn't actually swallow one. Oh, my cat got up. My cat said that was enough. That was enough time in my lap. Now she's back off to do her own thing. Have nostalgia for Gen 4 and Gen 5 even though you're late on Gen 4? Yeah, I mean, exactly, but I'm saying, like, from the perspective of what I have seen in the community, I will stand by Gen 3 being my favorite gen of all time. Yeah, I will stand by that statement. Like, probably for forever. So for me, like, Oras is like the best games. And it was like the best remakes, and I was very happy to get those, and those seemed to come out like at the perfect time where it's like I had money to go buy them, right? And like all my friends were excited about it. But now we're to the point where the people who are into Pokemon or are getting back into Pokemon are Gen 5 fans. Like the Gen 4 fans came and got back in and have faded back out again a little bit, obviously not fully, but like the true peak of it, happened already. I got my. I'm aware. I'm saying I have. All I'm saying, Gen 6 is what brought you into Pokemon, but you love Gen 5. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, you can ask a chat now. You could ask, like, you can pretty much go into any Pokemon chat now, and Gen 5 is the gen that will get the most hype out of people at the moment, is Gen 5. Just, that's what it is. That's how it's shifted. Go back 4 years, and that was Gen 4. So all I'm saying is, I'm not saying anything like, oh, I already got mine, I want more. I'm just saying, for the people who want Gen 5 stuff, there's a chance that you fall out of Pokemon before they ever come out with a Gen 5 thing. And that could just happen. And then, like, Gen 6 people, like, are like, oh, that remake wasn't even for us, and they fall out faster. Gen 5's what we got in the community. Exactly. Yeah, and that's going to be the case with a lot of the people in the community right now. Is like, Gen 5 is the game for them. Because it really is a thing where when I started streaming, I feel like Black and White was almost hated at that point, and like Diamond and Pearl and like Platinum were the best games, and then like Heart Gold Soul Silver were the best games, and now it's like Black and White 2 are the best games. Like, that's just the community shift as like time has passed, and those games have hit the perfect point to be nostalgic to the community that is online. And obviously that's just the community that's online. That's not talking about the whole community, like everyone in the world who's played Pokemon and enjoys Pokemon. That's a whole, other set of things. But from my perspective, as someone who watches the community relatively closely just because I am part of it, taking nostalgia glasses off, Black and White weren't even that bad. Again, that's the thing, right? Like, it's not nostalgia, it's genuine thoughts about the games. Like, nostalgia obviously hypes it up, but like, your favorite games are your favorite games, nostalgia or not. And that's kind of the thing, right? Like the people, there's an extreme amount of hype for Gen 5 at the moment. And so it's just, this whole conversation spans from is spawned from the idea of talking about, like, way down the line. It's probably not going to really happen in the next, like, remake or two. But by the time we get to, like, Galar remakes or something, there will have been people who come in and go, like, Galar was my favorite Pokemon game, it's the best one. And then they'll age out of it, and we'll have people talk about whatever the next games are. And then the next games. And then like, a Galar remake comes out, and it's like, does it make sense for Pokemon to wait that long to cash in on the Galar hype at that point, right? Like, it's a hypothetical, it's far off. Obviously, people's opinions are different right now than what they will be then. That's a whole argument that's a different part of this. Seeing how you played every main series game now, Gen 5 isn't terrible compared to some others. Yeah, okay. Where's your Legends Arceus remake? Eventually there might be people asking that. It might be a thing, yeah. Imagine. I mean, I think eventually we'll see it. It's probably along the same line if people would have joked about that back in like the early 2000s with Snap or something. And here we are, and it's like, yeah, people really wanted Snap. And we got a Snap remake. Like, it's gonna... Eventually we'll get around to that point. But yeah, that was me being rambly about, like, me wondering what's gonna happen with remakes going forward. Back to the main topic. I am so excited. I'm so excited for BDSP and for Legends. Everything just seems so good. I feel like Pokemon Company's listening to us a little bit because now they know we're gonna buy something we want. I mean, they're always kind of listening to that. It's just you're falling into the group that they're like trying to get with nostalgia now. But yeah, either way, no matter what, I think BDSP is going to be good. I think Legends is going to be good. It actually like really looks like they've taken the steps they need to make these games good. Feels like they hit it out of the park with the trailers and announcements today. So I am wholeheartedly looking forward to streaming bunches and bunches of BDSP and Legends. Have Gen 4 nostalgia with BDSP is going to be good either way. Absolutely. Absolutely, I think so. Someone who's never played Gen 4 caters new fans, and I like Pokemon Company doing that. Yeah, I mean, as long as they don't completely like throw out like the like dedicated fans, I'm fine with that. Obviously it's dumb to make a game that like doesn't appeal to new people. Come on, Krabby. Come on, Krabby. I'm watching the BDSP trailer again. I'm gonna watch it after the stream. So I definitely want to like look into it again and see like what exactly was all there and if I missed anything important. Because like I said, I wasn't super duper focused on it the first time watching. So I need to give it another look for sure. Didn't know there was a shot of, oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm so excited for these games. I can't wait. It's gonna be a blast playing them. Getting Goosebumps music's good. It is, man, it is. Yeah, I was very focused on like picking up new information from it to the point that I missed most of the information. You know, like hyper focusing in on any given little piece of information and any little detail on it. What's my lure situation at now? Because I think when I checked I had 6. I have 3. So I really don't have the room to run around at the moment. So I don't want to go down like really to the line because yeah, every once in a while we get the Moltres or Articuno spawn in that I want to check and see. One's able to get remasters, remakes of remade Pokemon games. I mean, I'm playing a remake of a remake at the moment. We're getting there. Oh, I got a cat back in my lap again. She went over to the window for a bit, but now she's back. Oh. What is it, a remaster, remake? Not yet, not yet. We gotta get one more remaster on Let's Go. And then it'll count. Oh, I'm sorry for any like thumps you've heard. Just the cat bumping the microphone. Because she has no streaming etiquette. She has no etiquette for being in a room with someone streaming. And she's very selfish. Because when she wants to sit in my lap, she sits in my lap no matter what else is there. So usually my trick is I feed her dinner right before the stream so she goes and takes a post dinner nap on her bed. For like most of the stream. Today that did not work. Juan, why you mess with me? Why you mess with me so? Because I immediately started looking and I didn't see it. You're back. Welcome back. Welcome back, Shy. Did you get a chance to go? Did you go watch the present? Love the Legends art style. I'm watching the trailer again. See if you notice the weird camera with the some of the scenes where it's like following the galloping, shaking. Didn't lie, it's below me. I know it's there. I know that one's there. Say sus backwards? Sus backwards. What you gonna do? You don't like anything. They said they're gonna give you a Dialga plushie for pre-ordering Brilliant Diamond. You might have considered it. Ah. I see what Shy wants here. Shy wants the goods. What is that camera? You're right. Yeah, so again, to me, it definitely looks like they're tracking. They have a camera that is moving relative to the player. So it's not moving relative to the scene while keeping up with the player. It's in order to follow the player smoothly, they just locked the camera to the player. And so then it bounces around. That's 31 Pika's caught. Shiny, where are thou? Hopefully you find it, Shy. Hopefully you find it. We got about 10 minutes here to try to find another shiny of our own. Another, what I found it? Oh, nothing today, just a general, another shiny. But we need to find a shiny on today's stream, we haven't found one. I think Legends will have a 3D camera, they kinda have to. Like one that you can move around? Yeah, absolutely. Like a wild area camera for sure. There's no way in an open world game to like lock the camera to like your butt or anything, like that's not gonna work. That would be very frowned upon. Random Rowlet's doing its own level 100 gauntlet. It's level 46 right now, and it's doing this Chansey SOS train Mons before Komodo battle. Nice. Yo, Mega Man Jr., what is going on? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? As I've asked everyone else who's come to the stream, what are your thoughts on the Pokemon Presents announcements from today? Revamping Union Route to not just do local communications interesting. Well, I wish they would do Wi-Fi Plaza. Was there any benefit to Wi-Fi Plaza, or do you just want Wi-Fi Plaza back because of the nostalgia? Get your dad a mug that says "World's Worst Dad" for his birthday. I assume that like there's a sense of humor there. You're mad, but good. To be honest, did not see the Pokemon thing. Hey, that's all good. That's all good. I recommend taking a look. It's got some good announcements, in my opinion. Yeah, I was nervous. I was nervous about what all improvements they would have made on the game since February, and it seems like they actually did a good job with it. Wi-Fi Plaza memory unlocked. It made online fun. What would you do in the Wi-Fi Plaza? Again, I didn't experience a lot of like the specifics of Gen 4. I missed a lot of those. If they had a Decidueye, Swampert, or Shiny skins for a majority of the Pokemon, you'd like Unite more. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I still haven't really played Unite. I don't really plan on. I don't really like the new gen of Pokemon. That's totally fair. That's fair. A lot of people didn't really like Sword and Shield. There's a lot left on the table as far as like what they could have done with it, so it's totally understandable. I definitely like didn't play Sword and Shield as much as I would have, as I thought I would have, pre everything getting announced for it. You want to be a Mudkip? I'm not surprised. Yeah, if you were able to play as Mudkip, I bet you'd be playing all the time. Yeah, Juan included, yeah. Absolutely. Didn't see what, Juan? Or not Juan, what, didn't see what, Vanillix? Giving Manaphy's a mystery gift for BDSP? Okay, so that's legit. I saw someone mention that, but I wasn't sure if they were just saying like Manaphy should be given away. Yeah, so I guess they're giving away probably a shiny locked Manaphy egg. It showed at the end of the trailer. I did not see that. I did not see that. I'll have to look at that again. Will it be a new way to hunt Manaphy? Maybe? Glad your gamer skills kicked in and you learned to type without looking down, because now you can focus on your Pikachu hunt and Let's Go while typing too. Nice. Yeah, I still can't just like touch type. Hey Gia, how's it going? How's it going? How are you doing, Gia? Hope you're doing well today. Maybe. They made the new kind of Pokemon so easy. Why it was good. The old Pokemon like Fire Red and Emerald kind of Pokemon games were hard and challenging, but look at the new kind of Pokemon. Yeah, a lot of people say that. A lot of people definitely talk about how much easier the newer games are, and that's fair. That's kind of why I'm hoping that Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl have a bit more of the difficulty, being that they're more direct copies of Diamond and Pearl than most remakes have been. I'm hoping that there's a bit more difficulty to it. You want to present, and you want the map on PUBG, like the big Legends map, Pokemon Battle Royale. Early purchase bonus like Sword Shield. Okay. You're listening to the Beatles while hunting Pikachu in Let's Go and started replacing the word submarine with Caterpie. So now you can think as we all live in a yellow Caterpie. I love that. That's great. Should record it. Let's re-record the song. Have the better version. Pokemon's always been easy. We were kids when we played most of them, so of course it was hard. I think easy and hard might not really be the right words in certain circumstances. I would say some of the gyms in Sword and Shield were just straight up easy. Your rival getting the Pokemon that is weak to you now is easy. I know there is a bit of a reason for that, and it correlates to Pokemon not just having normal type moves at the start. So like, to an extent, there's an understanding for why that happens. It's not really a great reason in my opinion, but it is a reason. As well as the hand-holdiness. It's more so the hand-holdiness than anything in my mind. I'm not a big fan of like how hand-holdy they are a lot of the times. When you're shiny hunting, all you do is put the song Fly Me to the Moon and shiny hunt the whole time. It's a ritual for you. Can record a tour of Galar for this. Galar, PUBG, and Alola should be added to PUBG. Or, yeah, Galar, Kalos, and Alola. That'd be kind of cool. Such a yellow Caterpie, not a shiny Caterpie. You're a purple Mudkip, not a shiny. But your name says Shining. Do you like your car? Was Zoom Zoom not a good enough yes? I thought the Zoom Zoom was like universal yes with car stuff. It's calming for you? Nice, I get that. That's awesome. Reading the small white text. Mystery Gift in BDSP isn't accessible until at least 2 hours of play. That's weird. Are they trying to prevent people from collecting the gift, resetting, and collecting the gift over and over again? That's funky. You once played, the Doremimi before a wormhole encounter and got a shiny. That right there, Shy, is how superstitions are born. Did I see your face reveal? I don't know if I did. The one who doesn't get the benefit from BDSP and Legend of Arceus games? Like, you're not looking forward to them? I gotcha. That's fair. You're a shiny, not a shiny. Ah, gotcha. New people like you need to reset hunt for them so they beat us. I mean, that right there is an assumption that implies that it will be shiny huntable. Well, Mr. Simon, they're calming. Too calming. Don't have money and you've played Platinum 4 times. That's fair. That's fair. If you've already played Sinnoh that much and you don't want to play it again, that makes sense. Cynthia doesn't mean anything to you since you defeated her 12 times. She's nothing at this point. All right, guys, we've hit the 2-hour mark at the moment, so we're gonna do a raid here. I'm gonna do one more like run in the door and run out encounter here and see if we can find a Krabby. Platinum's easy. I legit beat the whole Elite Four without healing items. Nice. Took Leafeon into the battle with Cynthia. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the stream, and thank you for talking about all this super hype BDSP and Legends stuff with me. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I'll be back on Friday. We'll be doing another Friday stream. It'll probably be one of our last, like, full length, you know, early start time Friday streams. So hope to see you there. Obviously, I know school's happening for a lot of people, but would love to see you there at some point during the stream. So we're going to be doing a raid here. I'm going ahead and grabbing the link now. But thank you guys so much. I will be back on soon. And until next time, guys, take care.